GTii still following our implied path. Let's go ahead and find out exactly what could happen for GTii in the next sessions. What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again on this fine Wednesday night hump day. This is ARCa coming at you with a GTii technicals, raw price action, and statistical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could consider joining our trading community in Discord called ARCab. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the charts. Okay, so we're going to start off with the immediate short-term time frame for GTii, and we're going to be looking at the hourly chart with particularly the ARC enhanced MACD, and let me go ahead and close this Discord out, and also the ARC armor. Okay, so these indicators are actually part of a series that can be accessible to you. Please just make sure to send me a DM and we will talk about those details as to how to acquire them. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and start off first with ARC armor, which is an indicator that's comprised of several exponential moving averages. They're all placed very close in proximity to each other, and what that does is it essentially gives us a wave of motion, or directional waves, if you will. So in these directional waves, we actually do get long and sell signals. Okay, so I'm sorry, long and short signals, or buy and sell, if you will. Okay, so now we did notice very early on, actually from down here, we actually did notice that this could potentially be our bottom, where we called out a potential 47-cent bottom, actually of which actually went down to 45, and it has continued to the upside. Okay, so we did print a fresh buy signal right on, let's see, that was December 15th, and that long signal has since been honored, except until just about a day ago. We got a little short signal for a scalp, then the long signal came right back on, and it's still honored. Now you can see all of the exponential moving averages are now starting to turn green, and that directional wave is starting to turn. Okay, now, there are a couple things that may suggest a potential pullback before a continuation to the upside. So let's just go ahead and verify some of those things. Okay, so first of all, actually it could be this. Yeah, actually, it could very much be this. On the 8-hour chart, we're looking at a huge evening star here. This evening star doji is usually something that can give us a reversal, and this is, in particular, it could be a type of temporary pullback. But if you can see that it actually touched our 7-day exponential moving average, and it also came right back down very close to our 4-spot 618. So it actually bounced from this area and continued onto the upside very aggressively. So these types of candles can present a potential pullback, and usually these pullbacks can happen to test our moving averages once again. So definitely keep an eye on your longs for this type of thing. Okay, so if we do continue on to the upside, we do have a relevant area right at the 50-day simple moving average, which is located right at about 95 cents, 95.09. Okay, but so far GTii is looking very good. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next chart, see what we have. Okay, so yeah, this is the 5-day chart that we've been looking at for quite some time, and this actually, I believe this candle is going to be closing tomorrow and during the session. If it does close in this form like we've been talking about, this is a very good sign. So that, I mean, it could be considered like a huge, bullish hammer. But usually seeing a candle like this can present the potential for a continuation onto the upside for a macro perspective. Okay, so in this case, the actual validation for the continuation of the upside will be contingent upon the closure of the next 5-day candle, okay, so which is potentially going to start tomorrow. So that candle, the next 5-day candle, if it's printed in a bullish form, then yes, we can have that 5-day V-shaped recovery, okay, but it is contingent upon that closure. The following 5-day candle, not this one, because this one is going to close in just a few hours. Okay, so yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this as we move. Okay, GTii, we're looking pretty good thus far. Let's go ahead and move on to the next chart. So this is the statistical side of the analysis, and this is something that we have been touching on for very long here. Okay, so I've been actually keeping an eye on a particular move here, which actually consists of about a 3,200% move to the upside, which is actually figured by taking a back test of volatility versus momentum, and volatility is this indicator here, VBWP, and VBWP's volatility is direction neutral. So we actually pair it with an indicator that is called a stochastic momentum, which is actually TradingView's proprietary indicator. Okay, so the indicator gives us that bias in direction or forward direction. Okay, so I have back tested this indicator by itself in the GTI asset throughout the entire trading history, particular to the 3-day chart, and out of a total 11 iterations, it has guessed the asset's direction 10 out of those 11 times, giving us a 91% accuracy. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it's very, very good to consider and to add to our probabilities or factors. Okay, so now the upside move that we're looking at could be it could be an average of 3,200%. Okay, there are several variables within the backtest that came to that number. Okay, so there is a 34% pump, there is a 300% pump, there is a 1,000% pump, there is also an 18,000% pump. So it varies. Okay, so that's why we have to remember that they're just statistical values and they're not certainties. Okay, you guys. So the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because of the following. Let's go ahead and just open up a buy pane here and open up the volatility on one side, and we're going to open up the momentum on the other side. Okay, so if you guys like the way I chart and you want to chart in a similar software, the TradingView link will be included in the description below, and it actually helps me out when you do sign up for an account with TradingView. So please consider that it'll be included down there. I am an accepted affiliate. Okay, so this is particularly what we've been looking for. We need both of the volatility component and the moving average of VBWP within the critical percentile or critical volatility, which is anything above this trend line horizontally, which is the 90%. So as long as we're in the 90 percentile and we're reading critical volatility and momentum is starting to pivot to the upside, those factors can actually start to play in. Okay, so in this case, even more than yesterday, we can actually start to see the pivot from the momentum starting to really change. So you can actually see that these are 3-day reads. Okay, so every bar that you're looking at is a 3-day thing. So about 9 days ago, 2 weeks ago, we were looking at this still in a downtrend, and we said we're still continuation onto the downside, but we're going to potentially pivot right around this trend line here. So I keep these trend lines in so that we can see how we're moving. Okay, so it is looking like it's following our implied path still. Very, very, very good. Okay, so as soon as we do have both of these pivoted towards the upside, and we have volatility either printing these red bars, which read a 3-day read since we're in the 3-day chart, or that it's contracting all the way to the bottom, those are the signals to add that probability, the 3,200%, of which is just an average. Remember, guys. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the last part of this chart. So this is actually going to be the divergence chart. So we're looking at the RSI in the 12-hour here. Okay, so divergence is the price opposition. Okay, so I'm talking about price action opposition versus momentum in this case. Momentum represented by relative strength index, RSI. Okay, so I did catch about 3 drives of regular bullish divergence, and the regular bullish. Yes, it is. This is the regular drives. I was looking at this one by accident. This is actually bearish, and this is bullish right over here. So yeah, we were looking at price action making lower lows and momentum making higher lows. In this case, you can see price action making lower lows, and so that constitutes into having 3 drives of primary phantom regular bullish divergence. Why phantom? Because we're going through price action to get from point A to point B. Okay, so this is still looking okay. Now this is something that I wanted to show you, which could potentially be signaling that little bit of a pullback that we're talking about. The 12-hour time frame did kind of pivot just a little bit there. That's a slight warning. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up now a multi-pane so that we can see a huge difference now. So in this case, you can see that actually, you know what? Let's start it first with a 30-minute. Let's just keep it normal. Let's keep it traditional, okay? So for the new viewers and new listeners, I do have the RSI properties right over here for you. So I do need you to focus in on those 4 zones, 1, 2, 3, 4, as I will be speaking to them very much so throughout this analysis here. Okay, so another thing that to notice here is that the 30-minute is flashing that little bit of a pivot, finding resistance from our moving average. Okay, so this is something that we usually do look out for. So the moving average is serving as a resistance. There is a potential to where we can come back down and potentially find some support from the deep areas, the shallow areas of the bull strength percentile. Okay, so in this case, we are well within the bull strength percentile grip. Okay, so that's another thing that's good for us. Just a sec. Pardon me. Okay, so now the bi-hourly RSI is actually suggesting a neutral direction. Okay, very good thing here is that we do have the moving average below us. The thing that can suggest a downside is the fact that we're laying right in the shallow areas of the bull strength percentile. This usually indicates a gravitational pull into the prior zone. Okay, so but again, the 14-day moving average, which is the pink line, is suggesting a potential support touch from the purple RSI signal line. Okay, so this is very good too. And now let's look at the 6 hour. So the 6 hour also has this neutral direction as well. The bullish thing here is that we're still getting a slight suggestion to the upside from the 6 hour 14-day moving average, and you can see that we're also in the very shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile. So this, just like the other one, this means that we can face a gravitational pull right into the bull weakness. Okay, this is where I can see and say that it would be a temporary downside or a temporary pullback. It's for the fact that the daily time frame RSI is suggesting a continuation to the upside, and it has since moved away from the deep areas of the bear strength percentile, now suggesting a continuation into the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, which usually mean a gravitational pull inside of bear weakness. Okay, so this is looking still okay. Look at the bi-daily, still suggesting upside continuation. The 3-day still suggesting upside. 5 days still suggesting upside. Okay, so yeah, it's still looking bullish for GTii. Just know that we could potentially face a pullback in the next session, and it probably isn't something to really worry about. Okay, so I know that CTRD thing and GTii combating the short sellers, that's a very good thing. So this is playing into the catalyst into that upside trajectory as well. Okay, so if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCa trading community, and also saying hi to me on Twitter. The handle will be down there as well. Okay, please. Regarding the Crypstex indicators, which by the way, the enhanced MACD is still suggesting an upside continuation, and you can see that we actually tightened the Bollinger Bands, which are right behind us, and they're expanding now. So when we do get that expansion, upside continuation is expected. Okay, so yeah, things are looking pretty good in the immediate short term and on the long term for GTii. Okay, you guys, please know that I'm not a financial advisor. Take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment. Please do your own DD and everything will be just fine. Okay, you guys? But with that said, I wish you well, a very good night, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.